Good evening. Today, 18th of December. Actually, today's topic is a sensitive topic to talk about. I wanted to do this agency website topic for quite some time. It came about because I was thinking, well, if you look at the number of agencies in Malaysia, how many agencies actually have got good websites? So I did a search and also try to check out some of these key agency websites in the big firms. So I found some quite interesting findings that I'd like to share out maybe in this small presentation. Let me begin. Right, the topic tonight um, on the 18th, this was done on 16 December. Anyway, today, 18th of December 2019, why not agency website? So this is in the way trying to answer the question that a lot of agencies in Malaysia seems to not work on its website. So there's probably some reasons. So to begin, I will give a picture on what sort of website we are looking at in the whole World Wide Web. So websites are quite interestingly, there is no standard on how many types of websites are. So both by number of different way of classification and also the types of use that the website is supposed to achieve. So there are different people doing different classification and purpose may also differ and also different segment of market. So evolving is always evolving arts of how to put a website, and sometimes even the website now is going into apps. So you are looking at website, but then at the part of it, you in fact use it in the handphone, and then you appear that it is an app rather than a website. So in the classification, generally, it classifies itself into corporate use, business use, entertainment use, news and portal, and education purpose, and also some of it is for personal use. So a lot of time we see websites are used as for entertainment, and at times also entertainment covers area of news, entertainment news, and also personal entertainment. So anyway, this is not the topic for tonight's discussion, but the idea is a lot of time websites are done for purpose of business, and estate agency as a practice, similar like legal practice, also medical practice. Although in one is that they are regulated, they cannot simply do promotion of their practice, and second, also there is a purpose or commercial reason behind it. So in a new format of how a medical doctor or a legal qualified lawyer to promote their service, now in fact a website is probably one of the blur area. So they are, of course, a legal firm, medical specialist center doing those promotions. You have never seen a legal firm, medical specialist center actually promoting they are very good in the newspaper. So this is also adheres to the medical ethics, legal practice regulations. So as for estate agency, because estate agencies existence is for the purpose of promoting their properties or their real estates. So a lot of time it is about promoting its services to the public. So in that sense, it is actually more of advertising for the purpose to get the job done. In fact, that has to be view in a different lights compared to a doctor or a lawyer promoting his own service. So for as an estate agent, his main promotion is promoting the product. So only when he is engaged, he promotes his product. He himself can also market he himself as a product, meaning to say he can make advertisement of his firm and his specialty area, like probably he is very established in project marketing. He can put up a advertisement that he is good at project marketing. with no individual, no single individual appointment yet from the project developer lah. But of course, a lot of time it is already with the developer project that the agency promotes this particular project, therefore advertises in the website. So the purposes of the usual use, let me just go on to wider blow out. The purposes of these websites are usually for commercial use, for political use, for news, and then also academic and social community. So this is my own classification. So instead of going just now into very complicated classification, I think the four major area of website use would be these four areas for commercial use, for political or for news, for academic use, and also for social community use. So most of the time, estate agency websites exist for its purpose in commercial use, commercial purposes. So commercial purposes for website, as I mentioned just now, is to list the appointed appointment or appointed, being appointed by the principal, in this case the developer or the vendor, to list out the property for sale, for rental, or to source for a property, or to make known there is a project, and then also to carry out tenancy administration. This is under the section 22B subsection 1A of the Act, Valuer, Appraiser, Estate Agents, and also Property Managers Act 1981. So two subtype of the estate agency websites you can see in the search. If you go and search Malaysia's estate agency, the big firms, you can see that they have corporate website, and also they are also doing their own listing. So corporate means that they are promoting themselves, as I mentioned just now, without actually considering the product or considering the listing. Whereas the e-commerce website, which is a listing website, is a very straightforward listing of the property for sale or for rent. So these are the two subtypes of the website that you see with estate agency. Well, we mentioned about estate agency involving the few areas. One is the law and regulation, and then also the ethics and the standards and the rules, and also interaction with other peers, like one estate agency firm works with another estate agency firm for a co-agency, as well as the part that it relates to whole industry of real estate, meaning including lawyer, consultants, engineers even, and also of course bankers who gives away loan for purchasers to buy the property, and then of course the developer. So there are four areas. So in the promotion of the estate agency's job or work, they usually go within these four areas. Should be within the law, should have got the ethics, and also to watch out for peers, and also to work with the stakeholders. So as I mentioned earlier, section 32B1A, the Valuer, Appraiser, Estate Agent, Property Managers Act 1981, saying about the 5 areas of the scope of work of the estate agent. So the website need to cover the corporate part, which is to promote the image of the company, and then also the other part, which is the e-listing site, which is the promoting of the properties. Right, and agency listings in the sense we talk about the front page or the landing page, usually concentrates on the corporate things. So usually we see any website that is done by estate agency in Malaysia, it would not run away from these things, meaning to say there is a corporate image, there is a likelihood that they put some history, some founder who set up this firm over the years, how the firm evolved, and then usually for that part, the corporate side it is quite well designed. But then for the area of listing, it is not well, basically they are not very well designed, and also looking at it, there is not much of effort putting on the long-term strategy to capitalize on the e-listing part. And the likelihood that there are reasons which I am going to mention a few. The main reason is that probably the users and also the person who lists the advertisements they don't see added value in doing it in the company's or agency's website because there is not much of a unique thing that the company website could do that other more established brands like iProperty or Muda or Property Guru can do for them. So these are the reasons which I actually thought of to discuss tonight. That is why not agency website. There are a few key reasons. One is the traffic issue, which I mentioned just now. Meaning to say, for a listing to have a successful engagement with the client or with the third party public, then the need of the website to be visited, they should have got good traffic. So putting up an advertisement in a website that doesn't have visitor doesn't result in any closing of the sales or closing of the engagement. So that is the problem with a lot of agency websites because agency websites is only for one agency, whereas all these in the way portal like iProperty, Muda, all these big brands, they are across the country, across even product type. They are not just doing property like Muda. They are involved in lots of other products, including cars, including handphone, including all the even clothing and also services. So the traffic issue would make that there is no point of building a website for an agency where there is nobody visiting the website. So that is one big problem of agency website. Second is the dual listing issue. A lot of time in agency work, because of the area of specialization or so-called maybe influences in the area, is a locality or geographical locality of the agency. Therefore, some agencies categorize their different teams in the agency for different geographical area just in case that they have a better coverage and equal to more services for their different clients from different parts of the bigger region. But then the thing is, all these subdivision of geographical zones, in fact, at times have issue of overlapping listing, meaning to say maybe there are 3 or 4 agents actually being engaged at the same time. So when the so-called negotiator or agent within the same agency firm are being engaged at the same time, everyone wants to capitalize on the advantage on the selling of the or listing of that particular property in view of the commission likely to get paid for the commission. So therefore there is a lot of overlapping. That means the listing can appear actually by 2 or 3 agents within the same agency. So when this happens, the same agency listing will be very repeated, and then there is a reason that the agents are not happy, being that their listing being probably stolen or maybe being given to another colleague, which is the different team or different area who should not be encroaching into the particular zone of the agent. So therefore there is a dispute, and therefore the management of the agency see it as a difficulty to ensure harmony within the agency. So in order to avoid this problem, agents or negotiator in the agency would not want to review their listing to the or the website of the agency firm, in order to avoid this sometimes embarrassing moment where if you list it in other websites, it may be in a sea of advertisement, and people probably hide themselves behind another name, and therefore not verified or being verified much later. So therefore they are able to escape from the microscopic view of the agency. And then this is also related to the third reason, which is secret agenda. So a lot of time the agency pays out the commission based on the business that is brought in by the negotiator or the agent. So this negotiator and agent usually have got their roots into the geographical area for many years. So some of these secret agenda are not wanting to reveal to the agency firm and in a way make them shy away or avoid listing those properties in the company website. Because imagine if you are able to list many properties, meaning that you are a senior person in the market and people know that you have a lot of influence in the area. It cannot be that you are bringing in business less than another rookie or somebody who just joined the business. So these are reasons that there are secret agenda of certain parties in the company. Therefore, they prefer not to make it surface out in the website of the company listing. Also, there are reasons like technical difficulties. Of course, there are people who are not so well versed with using website from the back end. That means you need to sign in as a admin or maybe a person who has the authority to do certain changes to the layout of the website. So this is the difficulties of logging in and maintaining certain types of techie procedure required by the setup or the platform of web building may be a difficulty for some. But of course, it is better off now with the younger negotiator and agents that they are more tech savvy. So this should not be a problem in the long run. However, the other area which probably is not going to be easy is the repeat workload. That means if you do 3 types of mode of advertisement, let's say you actually draft a short description or narrative for a website, then you need to use this narrative for a banner, and then you need to touch up because the banner cannot contain as many words as the narrative in the website, and then therefore you need to spend time to do it. And then imagine you got to do it for a few websites, therefore you have a lot of repeated time spent doing the same thing without much of a value add. You're not going to close more sales by doing certain types of job. So being that is a technical difficulty or repeat workload because it's a different platform, and therefore sometimes it discourages agents to list it in their agency firm because they already listed it in iProperty or Muda or Property Guru or the big brand portals. So they do not think that it is necessary to put it inside their company website. So there are a few key elements in making good websites. So I would like to summarize it this way. Agency website should be more of user-directed. I want to use the word user-directed here and explain a bit more in depth about user-directed. A lot of time people thought that user-directed is the about a lister, a person who lists the advertisement. My intention is not for the listing person, it's not the lister, it's actually the end user, that means the public. The good website should have the good user feedback. That means the user finds it useful and also value added to the user, not the person who put up the advertisement. So a lot of problem now we see with website not visited is because the person who do this website, web master, or you can call him a author, or you can content specialist, whatever name you use, but end up the public who visit the website, who actually use the website, doesn't see the value. So it should be user as in public directed, not the listing person directed. So target is the user, not the lister. Another thing about website is about data capture, because the purpose of a website is to capture data, which a lot of other types of platform cannot allow us to do. Like you cannot do data capture with Facebook as yet lah. Maybe you can design a entry page or they call it action button, but still capturing data usually is easier done by a website where you can put up a form, then people can key in the information in the form and submit. So data capture is a key to a successful engagement with your clients. So capture relevant data and capture also good crowd of a segment of market lah. So like you log into a site and then suddenly it pops out and then say you want to access this website, you must put in your name, subscription to the website. This type of action by the website may be also not very friendly. Some people fail to see this as a problem. So website which suddenly pop up and asking for subscription, a lot of time, a lot of user would just shy away. They will not even proceed. So a website must have good capture, but the capture must come in a time where it is relevant to the user. Front end and back end, these are actually the term used to describe how user input their data. So of course, like a lister or like a listing person who want to put in data for Muda or iProperty, they can do it in the front end setting. That means on the website on itself, rather than having to sign in as an admin. So you do not need to sign in as an admin, and you can actually input data to the web page. So that is what I mean by front end. So now front end posting is the key into future website building, especially for user directed website. You need to do this so that you can capture as many users, so that your website would have a lot of input, and then this input either you screen it through or you do not screen it through, but using the machine or engine that is designed by the website builder platform to actually list out what are good things that the user need to obtain in the eventual visit of this website. So front end posting would be the future for a lot of website which deals with users. I mean, users can easily input their data into the website. Simple and easy, enough is enough, and secure platform. This one I don't want to go into too detail, but at the end it is not to capture too many things until people feel rejected or they feel annoyed by keying in so many things. So they will want to reject this type of intimidating type of tapping for data. Enough is enough also means that we do not want to make rocket science out of it. No, do not need to ask for too details. And then also secure platform because we don't want a website where input by users are being hacked, and then later on people found out that their information being leaked to unfriendly users. Right, this is a contract to you index which I have done for contract2you.com, and the purpose is similar as what I said just now. It's a front end posting, and front end posting with certain types of comparing indexes. That's why you can see IPIS 109.9, IPIE 10.4, and then the other one is 88.2 and 11.3. So this index formation is by keying in certain data into the front entry, where that it is calculated out and able to tell you that one property is compared to the other. Similarly, this can be lined up in the series of sequence where smaller to bigger types of indexes, and then able to give you some comparative index. For rental, this is for rental. And I'm Thomas Sim. Good to actually go through this presentation in a shorter time, and I hope it will be useful for viewers who has similar interest in website building. I can be contactable at the number below on this. Thank you very much for visiting this presentation.